this video, we're looking at working out the area of trapeziums. What makes a shape a trapezium? Well, importantly, two of the side lengths are parallel to each other. So this top length here is parallel to this bottom length here, and we usually show that with the single arrowhead. Now, these sides here, they could be parallel, and in that case we'd actually have a parallelogram, but they don't have to be. So just so long as we've got one set of parallel sides, we know we're looking at a trapezium. And of course it's only got 4 sides, so anything with 5 sides or more, or 3 sides, obviously wouldn't be a trapezium. The formula for the area of a trapezium is quite interesting. It's area equals a half times the top plus the bottom added together times height. So make sure that you're really careful when you're typing this into your calculator. You need to put these brackets in here, or you need to do it as kind of like a multi-step input, doing top plus bottom, hit equals, then do times a half times the height. But whatever you do, don't just type it in straight across without these brackets in, because you won't be getting the correct answer. Let's have a look at our first example. So here we've got 3 measurements, and we can tell obviously that we're going to be using this as the top and this is the bottom, and in between them going straight up through the shape with a nice 90-degree angle showing us the perpendicular nature of these 2 measurements is the height, 9 millimeters. Let's check our units, 18 millimeters, 9 millimeters, 1 centimeter. So let's change this guy here into millimeters. That's going to be 10 millimeters. So to work this out, first of all, always write in your formula. It's just a great habit to get into. It reinforces what you're working out, and it means that you can just easily substitute in numbers. So half, and in this formula we call the top and the bottom A and B, and we call height H, just like we normally would. So half bracket, let's put in the top, which is 10 millimeters. Let's put in the bottom, 18 millimeters, and then we're multiplying it by the height, 9 millimeters. So I'll show you how to type this into the calculator. You want to do 1 fraction button 2 if you prefer this method, and press out to get out of that fraction, then press times, and then crucially put in the open bracket sign. Type in 10 plus 18 and close your brackets, and then times 9 equals. So it's a lot of button presses. There is a lot going on. But remember, if you want to, instead of doing the fraction button, you can do 1 divided by 2 and then do everything else, so times, open bracket, etc. Or you could do 0.5 and then all of those other button presses. The most important thing is that you are using those brackets. So after you've done all of that, you should get an answer coming out at 126. Our measurements were in millimeters, and because it's area, it's squared units. Next up, okay, we can see 2 90-degree angles. That tells us that this side length and this side length are going to be parallel to each other, which is great. It's a trapezium. We've actually been told that already, but that confirms it. 35 meters, 14 meters, that's top and bottom, or bottom and top, whichever way you want to think about it. And 21 meters is the height. So look, don't stress if the height's going along sort of parallel to the ground. That's fine. So let's write out our formula. Let's substitute in our values. Let's type it into our calculator and write out our answer. The units were meters, but they are squared now. Here's our next example. So here we've been given 4 measurements, and obviously we only need to use 3. We just need top, bottom, and height. So we can see that the top and the bottom are there and there. Which one of these is the height? So hopefully what you're looking at is this relationship here, this perpendicular relationship, and that tells you that we want to use 4.1 as the height and not 4.2. Let's write out our formula as always. Substitute in, and hopefully all our units were consistent, meters, meters, meters. That looks good. And that gives us our final result, which is that one there. Here's our last example. So we've been given even more measurements. So maybe even pause and have a think about this one for a sec. Make sure you are choosing definitely the 8. And then you'll use this one and this one. Millimeters, 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 and we'll write out the formula. So once you get into the swing of it, it's not too bad. And that's all there is to it. Now, if you're enjoying these videos, could you please hit like, and if you'd like to see more, hit subscribe so that you get notified when the next ones get uploaded. Thanks everyone.